In Pakistan, torture is widespread and endemic. Every police station has a private torture cell. The army has torture cells in cantonment areas. The Air Force and Navy also run torture cells even in their headquarters. Torture is thought of as the best way to control crime.
In Bangladesh, torture is endemic. It happens in all the police stations. Torture is practiced by all law enforcement agencies systematically. It is also done on the streets both in rural and urban areas.
In the Philippines, torture is the de facto standard procedure of the police and the military. In every arrest, interrogation, and detention, torture is applied in varying degrees, either psychological or physical. The police strongly consider the use of torture as a necessity.
In Indonesia, torture is practiced by the police mostly against suspects of crimes. A study in which many local NGOs took part concluded that 70 to 80% of suspects are tortured. In 2007, the UN rapporteur on torture also stated that torture is a routine practice in Jakarta and other parts of Indonesia.
In Sri Lanka, police torture happens every day in almost every police station. Interrogation simply means torture. People are tortured even before they are asked any questions. Methods of torture are extremely brutal.
In Cambodia, torture is commonly used during police interrogations. The policing system is still very primitive and no modernization has taken place. Torture in prisons is also very frequent.
In India, torture is widespread, and the government promotes the idea that a country like India cannot be administrated without the use of torture. The absence of an investigation mechanism prevents independent investigations into torture, and this in turn contributes to the use of torture. The government uses force against all forms of political dissent. Police are trained to use force.
In Nepal, torture is widespread and it is believed that torture is an efficient crime investigation strategy. No adequate resources are allocated to have better criminal investigations. Crime investigators believe that they have the right to get confessions by torture. In the absence of a better system, people also believe that the use of torture is necessary.
In Burma, torture is widespread in detention centers where police interrogate people. Torture usually takes the form of beating, twisting and bending limbs into unnatural position, and burning them are common practices. The police are usually pressured by high authorities to have a quick solution to crime by using torture. Low pay of police officers also contributes to torture.
In Thailand, torture is widely used by police, army and other state security forces as a tool of repression and routine form of punishment. Throughout the country, police torture suspects during the interrogation or to obtain a confession. The use of torture is ubiquitous. Rather than fighting terror, the state security forces have become agents of terror.
There are several different ways in which torture and extortion are interconnected. One way is using the threat of torture to obtain bribes from suspects or their relatives. Sometimes the bribe is asked for as payment for amenities such as food during detention. People who do not pay the bribes are tortured as punishment. Money is also extorted to file lesser charges or reduce the amount or painfulness of torture. In some places, police also torture or kill persons on the behest of powerful or wealthy complainants. Torture is used to supplement the income of police officers who are often not well paid.
While statements and gestures are made to convey the intent of eradicating torture, there is little to no actual political will shown through actions. Many countries do not have laws against torture as a specific crime. Moreover, existing laws are not enforced. The underlying system that uses torture and violence is often sustained by the governments because it is useful to them.
It is true to say that without reforming police, torture will continue to exist in Asia. In many countries, what is required is to have an overall change of the dysfunctional administrative setup or governance setup, without which torture cannot be dealt with in Asian jurisdictions. At the moment, we have a lot of issues that need to be addressed, say for example, absence of resources, a change in the legal framework, and also adequate training and bringing accountability as an important concept to the overall policing. The problem also exists in judicial as well as prosecutorial services, just because that in most jurisdictions, judiciary does not either understand what torture implies according to the law and how bad it is. And on the other hand, the judiciary also is plagued with quite a lot of delay in adjudication. It also implies that the prosecutorial service also need to change, because in most Asian jurisdictions we have a problem that the prosecutors are unable to undertake impartial prosecutions. Either they are controlled by the executive or they are simply incapacitated because of the lack of knowledge and lack of resources to undertake adequate prosecutions. It also brings to the forefront the attitude of the civil societies, because at the moment we have the civil societies accepting torture as a means of crime investigation. This has to change. This is just because that the civil society is not adequately knowledgeable enough regarding how bad torture is. And fundamental to all this is creating of an institution in every Asian jurisdiction where complaints on torture can be made. At the moment, we do not have such an establishment.